So what we're going to do is we'll do the same thing, where I'm going to have you come up and you'll hold for 5 counts as I'm actually pulling some. But what I want you to feel is your shoulder blades should be the thing that are fighting to pull apart, not your bicep fighting to extend. Does that make sense? So I don't want to hold the weight right here and then just fight my biceps, because that means they're resisting the stretch. I want to have it where it pulls my back open before it pulls my arm open. So you should feel the pressure in your back, not your biceps.
Okay, so you squeeze the hell out of it.
Yeah, it's like right in between the shoulder blades, just like you're trying to pinch and squeeze something, feel like you win $1 million. So, okay. So same thing, come up really deep, and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release, relax, and we're going to do it again. Breath, breath, breath. Come on up, we're going to get squeeze. Squeeze, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Good. Okay, now we're heading over to the dumbbells. So come on over. So we're going to be doing what we've been doing. So same thing, work on 10 reps with that same squeeze that you just practiced with that. So we just squeeze the hell out of our back to win $1 million. Now we're going to do the same thing during these presses. Okay. Good. So now push the legs, punch the reps up, squeeze that back the whole time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Get that back squeeze. 6. Good. 7. Good. 8. Good. 9. Good. And 10. Good. Over the dumbbells. Okay, come on over for the isometric. Okay. So we're going to dip into that chest stretch. So as in to protect the lower back. Then let it stretch into the chest. And now relax the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. Very good. Good. So, hello everybody. So, that craziness that my mom is now laughing at, the back row that we did, the idea of that is to get a true feel of what it feels like to have your back squeezed in that position. And you heard me explain to her not to squeeze her biceps, but to squeeze mid-back. She wants to hold that back squeeze really hard, and I was actually pulling down the machine. If you're by yourself, just use a really heavy weight, kind of throw it up into the contraction and then fight the extension. So what that does is that wakes up those muscles, gives you a chance to feel what it feels like to have them maximally flexed and squeezed. Then when we came over to the dumbbell press, she just wanted to mimic the same feeling. So she brought the weights up, got into place, and then she flexed her back super duper freaking hard. And that gets her a nice, good, stable base of her shoulders. That'll get her a full stretch through her chest. So that way, as she's pressing with a chest press, she actually uses her chest, not the front of her shoulders. So this actually helps her recruit her chest. Then when we did the stretches, the idea of that is she's fighting some really tight musculature up here by the collarbone, which is related to sleeping on her shoulder, like this. So we got to correct that. But that was causing some shoulder issues, some shoulder pain when we were doing our heaviest presses. So all of this stuff today was to promote her having a really good chest stretched position. And then we have that stretch position that helps to actually open up some of that tissue too. Now we're also doing in between some of these circuits is we're doing some kind of like massage therapy, compression therapy work. So we're going to come on over and show you that now. Okay, Mom, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, more torture. So you're going to lay on your back, and we'll take you through this. Hey, Bush. So we're going to take you through and show you kind of a little bit of what we're doing. So now, the idea of this is we're going to, she's going to, and she's laying here, she's already positioning it. Hold on, let me not cut my face off. Not that I'm the pretty object here, but that way you can actually see me talking. Whew. There we go. So, what she did when she laid down, we talked about this earlier, is she took her shoulder blade and kind of tucked it like down and in. and that opens up this tissue even more for me. So now when I'm doing the therapy, we get a full stretch of full amount of tension. So then she has her palm up towards the ceiling, and again, this opens up the chest tissue. What I'm going to do with my hands and thumbs is find where those tight strands are. So right there's one. And what it almost feels like is healthy muscle should almost feel squishy. So what I find here when we have unhealthy tissue, it almost feels like a guitar string. So the muscle is actually so tightly bound that it feels like you could pluck a guitar string. So I found that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create pressure on the inside-most edge of that guitar string. So that'll be right in next to her collarbone where my mom's tissue is located. So we're going to create pressure down into that. That's not going to feel super wonderful for her. But what it does is it lets the body know that this tissue is flexed. So the body can now feel pressure against this tissue, and it actually recognizes that the tissue is already pre-flexed. So there's a whole bunch of science stuff, and there's a lot of debatable crap about everything I'm saying here. However, this muscle has been sitting there tight. So, and our body hasn't recognized it and released it. So by us creating pressure to it, it makes the body more aware that that tissue is actually tight. So then as we're creating pressure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now take her arm, and I'm guiding it with my forearm and my thigh, and I'm going to try to actually create more range of motion through that tissue. Now, we don't want to create any range of motion that starts to annoy any healthy tissue. So if I were doing this now, where I'm kind of like pulling her arm back and opening the tissue, if she were to feel any rotator cuff pain, then we would want to stop where we're at or recheck whether her shoulder blade is in the right position. But what this is doing now is it's creating more pressure tension through that tissue, and it's going to promote the body to actually open that tissue up. So now, by us doing that like every 10 or 15 minutes in between the workout, it's getting that tissue to open up more and more. Now I'm just kind of throttling back and forth. And now each set we do, everything is opening up a little bit better for her, and it's actually improving our retention of healthy range of motion. So anytime you can open up range of motion of a tissue and then lightly and properly load that tissue, that new acquired range of motion will actually stay. So now that we have that done, we'll give her a big rest, and then we'll be coming back through for the same cycle. And we're going to do this probably in total about 6 rounds, and just get enough for muscle damage for a good chest workout today, good back damage, and we're looking to get like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 of effort today. And then you just put those together consistently, and over time, she gets healthier. Cool. Hopefully this stuff was helpful.